Lost Ark is an isometric free-to-play MMORPG originally released in Korea in late 2018. Thanks to its astonishing success, it even brought the developers 6 rewards at the Korea Game Awards in 2019. Now, this was released later in Russia and Japan in the following 2 years, and shortly after was released in the West in February 2022, and this is the game as we know it. So now that the game is published, you are excited to immerse yourself in the uncharted world with seemingly no or very little pay-to-win elements, and a variety of classes to choose from to fit with your fantasies. After all, the developers of Lost Ark Gold River have said, "I promise to make the game better today than yesterday, tomorrow than today." Amazing, well, brilliant, thank you for that, Gold River. You have actually shown that you care for the game and you want to improve the game for the community and continually progress the game further. Well, so you think to yourself, the Western version surely would take in the feedback and add improvements to the game, even if by a little bit. Or did they?
What are you supposed to do this fucking whole month, man? Quality assurance the whole fucking month, man. Why you do this last minute?
No way this is happening. No way. 5 minutes ago, during the final QA testing for the April update, our QA team found some critical issues requiring us to delay the April update? We know this comes with a disappointment? This is actually the worst timeline right now. What? How?
Man, I'm tired of waiting around this goddamn thing, Grandpa. I've been pulling all these goddamn mess, man.
The big fantasy MMORPG Lost Ark, which was in development for 7 years, at last released with gender-locked classes. Excuse me for that. Let's continue. Warriors are men and mages are women. That's right. What type of 1960s sexistic ideology the Gold River, aka Kyung Kang's son, is empowered by? Surely they have done their research. Surely they understand that we don't want to be restricted in the fantasy genre, in the world of the fantasy. We don't want to be restricted. Why is it even tolerated in our modern society? That's a separate question. That I can make a separate video. I cannot understand. Obviously, this is half the problem, but for the purpose of the video, we'll be focusing on just that, as I believe it is needed to be said, and not said by many publicly, or at least as much as I would like it to be said. As quite visibly, they just keep doing this. Lost Ark, Black Desert, even Diablo, published by Blizzard, is gender-locked. Although this is arguable, as you can understand why a game with heavy lore and specific to the thematic playstyle singular player, to be specific, makes such a decision. After all, the design focus point is not exactly massively multiplayer. In fact, it's more solo player style. I'm sure you can. I know that you can play with your friends or whatever, but Lost Ark was specifically designed for the MMO aspect, the player. Which brings the question, why the fuck would you make gender-locked classes? Let's just touch upon why MMO fantasy RPGs are played in the first place. I mean, the key word here is fantasy. That's right. To be able to immerse yourself away in this majestic, uncharted world full of magic and no limitation, where you can possess demonic abilities or wield a gigantic sword leaping into the ground and seeing your enemies wipe out faster than Endgame. But from what I can tell, the developers and their logic is, if you're a male and want to play a male gender, you will have to endure a 12-year-old anime girl wielding a 7-meter long time cannons projecting to the enemies, causing massive explosions, and you're just this Lancer class, a guy with a pointy stick. That's right. I don't know, something about that seems a little bit off to me. The reason I'm making this video is Lost Ark released its new class, a woman with a pointy stick. That's right. It's like, seriously, you can't have a guy with a pointy stick now? Come on. Lost Ark, get yourself together. When will the MMORPG genre understand that we don't want the gender-locked thing to be a thing? We don't want to be limited in the fantasy world. Most of the reasoning behind this is that them making this gender-free classes will give them more work, as male and female possess different characteristics, so will be animated in separate ways, which adds more production work. So, in other words, this is called being fucking lazy, right? No, I'm serious. This kind of thing, it can take up 7 to 10 years for just an alpha publishing. From game developers' perspective, it's just not good enough. I believe fantasy games should be as unrestricted as possible under the careful moderation and guidance. Just as simple as that. Well, this was it from me. I would like to hear your opinions on this. And take care, guys. See you guys on the next one.